Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Savannah Chrisley threatens to expose Lindsie's vile texts. Chrisley Knows Best fans know that Savannah Chrisley and her half-sister, Lindsie, don't get along, and now threats arrive to release Lindsie's vile texts to the public. It comes after Savannah said that Lindsie accused her of something on her podcast. So, she revealed that her dad didn't want Lindsie at the oral appeal hearing in Atlanta. Savannah Chrisley and Lindsie have a lot of differences. With Todd Chrisley's daughters, there are a lot of differences. For example, Lindsie grew up in a broken home. Meanwhile, it seems as if Todd favored Savannah over his first daughter. However, one thing they have in common is that both of them seem to like taking their problems to social media. Actually, they probably learned that from their father, who is out of pocket by $755,000 in settlements. He complained about an IRS employee on Chrisley Confessions, and he lost her lawsuit. Savannah Chrisley claims that Lindsie Chrisley worked with the government to get her mom and dad arrested. Actually, it's an old story, and nobody really knows if it was Lindsie or her brother Kyle. Or if it even happened. Anyway, their enmity continues, and a lot of it happens on social media for anyone to see. Seething with anger, the threat of dumping of vile texts came from Savannah on social media this week. Lindsie Chrisley allegedly sent Savannah vile texts. Chrisley Knows Best fans who follow Savannah saw her stories where she ranted about her sister. Later, one video of her ranting arrived on Reddit. There, the OP said. In her video, Savannah Chrisley said that she was trying to be the bigger person here. The Chrisley Knows Best alum also said about Lindsie Chrisley, but the next step is going to be posting screenshots of text messages. Elaborating, she added. Chrisley Knows Best fans react on Reddit. In the comments section on Reddit, a lot of people threw shade at both Lindsie and Savannah Chrisley. Here is a small sample of them. You don't do this kind of drama in front of the world. They all seem to have their unique forms of crazy. I think it's Lynn's insecurity or guilt that has her sideways and cannot just sit down with Sassy and say what needs to be said, beat the hell out of each other, or they need to find a way to just move on. Sassy can't keep anything private. Drama queen. Well, you are stupid, your parents are vile, and what the F have you done to your face? Nobody cares about all you Chrisleys and your drama. Todd Jr. You all are a joke, and if anything, embarrassing yourselves. Go away. And, are you seriously driving and videoing your stupid rant, you self-righteous twit? Lynn's calling others fake dizzy face dizzy. Then again, Lynn's claims she's never pooped, farted, and gets waxed every week. She's a psycho who is obsessed with her son and controlling everything around her. Maybe she needs to lay off pills and booze long enough to seek help. Savannah Chrisley paced her Nashville apartment, phone clutched tightly in her hand, her thumb hovering over the screen. The glaring light of the device illuminated her determined face, lips pursed as she reread the text messages from her estranged sister, Lindsie. Each word felt like a fresh jab, each insult more cutting than the last. You'll never be more than a spoiled brat, one message read. Your daddy's princess routine is getting old, said another. Savannah felt her blood boil. This wasn't the first time Lindsie had launched a verbal assault via text, but tonight was different. Tonight, the accusations had crossed a line, delving into deeply personal matters. She tapped open her notes app, where she'd been meticulously compiling a timeline of Lindsie's messages over the past few months. Some were petty digs, others outright slander. As much as Savannah hated to admit it, her sister seemed determined to drag her name, and their family, through the mud. The feud between the Chrisley sisters had been simmering for years, but the events of the last few weeks had brought things to a rolling boil. Todd Chrisley, their father, was still behind bars, serving his sentence for tax evasion and fraud. Their family, once known for its glamour and tightly knit bond, had splintered under the weight of public scrutiny. But it was Lindsie's latest move that had pushed Savannah to the brink. Lindsie had appeared on a podcast 2 days ago, airing grievances against the Chrisley family in her typical, self-assured manner. In her interview, she'd made comments about Savannah's alleged involvement in their father's financial scandal, a claim that was as baseless as it was damaging. Savannah had taken the high road, at least initially. Her publicist had advised her to stay silent, to let the storm pass. But when Lindsie followed up the podcast appearance with a barrage of venomous texts, something inside Savannah snapped. She scrolled to one of the most recent messages. "Maybe if you stopped playing the victim, you'd finally see how complicit you are. But I guess that doesn't fit your America's sweetheart image, does it?" Savannah exhaled sharply, her hands trembling. She was done playing nice. She opened her Instagram app and began drafting a story. The white text on a black background was as stark as her mood. "I've stayed quiet for long enough," she typed. "But sometimes, silence only enables the lies. If you want to talk about family drama, Lindsie, let's talk about the whole story. I've got receipts. Texts. Emails. You name it. And if you push me any further, I'll have no choice but to share them with the world." Savannah paused, staring at her words. Was she really about to do this? Airing their dirty laundry publicly felt like the antithesis of how she'd been raised. Todd had always preached about protecting their family image, about presenting a united front even when the walls were crumbling behind closed doors. But Savannah wasn't her father. She was tired of being the punching bag, tired of letting Lindsie rewrite the narrative unchecked. Before she could second-guess herself, Savannah hit post. The reaction was immediate. Within minutes, her phone buzzed with notifications. Fans, gossip blogs, and even a few distant relatives flooded her DMs. Some messages were supportive, others curious, and a few outright hostile. One particularly vocal commenter wrote, "Isn't it bad enough your family's a circus? Now you're adding fuel to the fire." Savannah rolled her eyes and swiped away the notification. Public opinion was the least of her concerns right now. Then her phone rang. The caller ID flashed Chase. Savannah hesitated but picked up. "What are you doing, Savannah?" Chase's voice was a mix of exasperation and concern. "You know this is just going to make things worse." "She started it," Savannah shot back. "That doesn't mean you have to finish it," Chase countered. "You think airing her text is going to fix anything? It'll just give the tabloids more ammo." "Maybe I don't care anymore," Savannah said. "Maybe it's time someone held her accountable." Chase sighed. "Look, I get it. Lindsie's been a nightmare lately. But you're better than this. Dad wouldn't want us tearing each other apart in public."